It's strange to me. Oh, I can't explain this feeling. Can't you see that salvation is free? It's all in the heavens, can't you see? You can always depend on me to give you love. Love is a fire in my soul. Love is a story that can't be told. Can't you feel it burning more and more? Stop and look at the big wheel roll. I can't explain this feeling. Can't you see that salvation is free? I would give my life for the glory, just to be able to tell the story of love. I didn't make you mad. A sweet story I thought I had. Maybe time will bring us together. And I can be such a happy fella about love. Love is something that's so divine. Love is a feeling that's a friend of mine. It can't be measured by no time. In your heart, in your mind, I love. Love is a right. I'm a morning star.
Yes, that's ancestral voices there from taking the next step from icon, leader, philosophical blueprint maestro. Right, too many titles to put on him, you know. Marcus Messiah Garvey, self-motivated, self-taught, self-inspired, but yet he was able to move the world. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if Marcus was here right now, sitting here in the studio? What type of message he would be giving to you? What are the questions you would want to come and ask Marcus Messiah Garvey? What type of conversation you want? Come. 0203 289. Marcus Messiah Garvey is right here, sir. Let's have a conversation.
Nah, whoa, whoa, quack, 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 shaka, oh yeah. Whoa, yo, 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 whoa, yo, whoa, yo, whoa, yo, whoa, yo. Love is so pure and true for you, my baby. Loving you is the most thing I've got to do now. I don't want to change my mind from you. No, love is what I've got. Love is what I've got for you now. Oh, the spotlight shines so bright on you, my baby. Wherever you're gonna be, I will always be right there. That's the way it's gonna be forever. Love is what I've got for you now. Love is what I've got, is what I've got for you now. Oh, why, shaka. Why, love is what I've got for you now.
You don't have to tell me, you don't tell me that your love is true. Just go on and hold me, hold me, hold me, hold me, baby. I'll know what to do. And if my heart is right, I'm gonna love you through the night. If you have to tell me, then whisper in my ear. Go on and tell me, tell me, tell me, tell me, baby. Tell me that you care. And if my heart is right, I'm gonna love you through the night. You don't have to tell me that your love is true. Just go on and hold me, hold me, hold me, hold me, baby. I know what to do. And if my heart is right, I'm gonna love you through the night. Hold me, baby. Hold me, baby.
Okay, that's an excerpt from the philosophy of solitude. Okay, so if you would like to example some of that, right? That goes on for about how long? 2 hours. 2 hours, right? And it's an in-depth breakdown of the power of our solitudes that we could experience with us, right? I've got with me our sister Sandra, right? Can you hear me directly? Yeah?
Perfect.
Right. Okay, you're coming through nicely over here as well. Right? So at least we can converse with each other. So
Yes.
it might just be the channel of the works that I was just playing that you couldn't
Okay.
hear. That's all right. As long as you can hear the callers, right? Or which could call any moment now on 0203 289 6504, because just like the bees round the honey, them just come so. And you know them going already. Anyhow. Greetings, Sister Sandra,
Greetings.
who's
Greetings.
residing at this time in Jamaica. Jamaica, you see, right? And I'm not jealous at all because it's raining over there and I don't give a damn.
Well, I won't make you jealous and tell you that the sun's shining and it's 29 degrees.
Yeah. Oh, I don't even think we even touched that yet over here, sir. And never complain that it's hot. It's hot, it's hot.
I was listening to the news yesterday. I don't actually tend to listen to it often, and they
Mm,
were talking about the heat
mm,
and how people coming over here because it's a tourist. Um,
mm,
it's somewhere where people want to come and travel and visit, but they
mm.
were finding it too hot sitting on the beach at 29, 30, 32 degrees.
Really?
Terrible, some things that people have got to put up with.
Mm.
I just say turn over every half hour rather than every 3 hours.
They're gonna have to sell them some bigger umbrella.
Yes, yeah. But the thing that they were talking about, which they're doing a mass encouragement in terms of if you cut down a tree for whatever reason, you may cut it down because you're building a house or building a road or whatever.
Mm,
Always to encourage everyone to plant a new tree
mm,
because it's the trees that from an ecosystem, from a
mm,
land, from a on the beaches, just ensures then that yeah, it all works in balance.
mm,
And in
mm,
cutting things down and just thinking, okay, well, I don't have to worry about it because hey, I could put up my big house or two, as someone
mm,
um, remarked recently, with these big hell of a house and only one or two people in there, and it's six
mm,
bedrooms, west wing, east wing, etc., etc. When you're cutting things down or you're cutting it down for land or grazing for your
mm,
cattle, if you don't replace the trees, you're effectively just adding to the imbalance within the ecosystem. And I
yeah.
know they talk about it in the UK when households go for um, paving at the front of the house where there used to be a bit of grass and a bit of greenery,
Mm-hmm.
and that then takes out some of the ecosystem
Mm.
in the UK.
Well, the thing is that as people have grown and developed within their societies, the concrete, the concrete jungle has taken over.
Mm,
We we have been duped into feeling that having these size houses was the what the reward of a life's work.
mm,
Like when the parents came over and they said, right, I'm going to build a place so that my family can come and live in this,
mm,
and not
mm,
realizing that the family had other intentions and
mm,
not really living in the land of where they had come from.
mm.
So that is why you've got these big monstrosity of homes, and I won't call them monstrosities really because they were built for family,
Yeah.
right? It wasn't built for just a single
One
occupant.
person. No, no, it was built. It was built. They are built for
Mm,
family because
mm,
some of them you think to yourself, you could have three families in there and they don't even
mm,
see each other.
mm,
That's how
mm,
big it is.
mm. And And that is a thing what a lot of people didn't realize. They thought that the prosperity would last forever.
mm, mm,
So when they built these homes, they never even took into consideration what it would take to maintain those homes,
yeah.
right? Building it and maintaining it is two different levels, two
Mm,
different things. To
mm,
even maintain, like as you say, like a six-bedroom house over there now,
mm,
you got to be at least taking in 150,000 a year,
mm,
and that's
mm,
Caribbean prices.
mm,
I mean,
mm,
so
mm.
imagine now, you one living in that one place. That means you must generate that type of money so that you can maintain that in a reasonable manner,
Mm, mm,
right? Admittedly, if there was like six of you, then it wouldn't be so bad because
yeah.
you would only have to be earning like 50,000.
Mm,
But
mm.
unfortunately, life don't go like that.
No, no,
You know,
no, no.
as you know, and I think that meant there will be many a home like that around around there. Many.
Well, the getting a jail free card is there are more Airbnbs popping up in Jamaica, and they
Mm,
do actually need it because the hotels sometimes are not what we want. We
mm,
want the authenticity. So a lot more people are opening up their homes. So that may be the answer for many a family who have started and can't finish as they would like or as
mm,
they've dreamt or planned, or those who have finished but can't maintain.
mm,
So I know someone that does have a big house. She does have a swimming pool in the house, and she said that was a godsend
mm,
come lockdown when you can't go nowhere. You were discouraged from going out because she
mm,
had everything she needed in the home.
mm,
And she says that she goes into all the rooms, and I believe her.
mm,
She walks into all the rooms and she will sleep in different beds because she can.
mm,
But she's also renting out part of the house
mm,
in order to maintain, and so she's got the income so she can maintain the parts that she lives in, which is
mhm.
still in itself humongous. Yeah. So she's got the land. She could build another three houses. She's
Mm,
got the land space of
mm,
that same size. So she recognised she can't do the land like she used to do when she was married.
mm,
Um, so she concentrates on the inside. So she's built the inside to how she likes it. She's got a really nice view from the top, and she'll have her music playing. She's got some big speakers, old time speaker boxes. She's
yeah.
got that in her yard because when she turns on her music, she just wants to enjoy life,
Mm,
and that's the beauty about being able to live your dream and enjoy life. So as big as the house is, she recognizes it's big, but she also recognizes that she needs to use the space. So she will go into each of the rooms and use the space.
mhm,
But not everyone gets that honor, and I call it an honor and or privilege.
mm, mm,
Sometimes when we start too late. Sometimes the thought process, like you say, is we're taking into consideration children, grandchildren who
mm,
are not as keen
mm.
to come and spend any length of time, if any time at all. And if it's only going to be open during the school holidays in the
This is
summer for
why.
a
This
couple
is
of
why.
weeks.
This is why when we many of us talk about Africa and all this type of thing. That might be our desire. That
Mm,
may be our desire to go and live in Africa and live, reside over there. But our
mm,
children, that might not be in their wish at all.
mm, mm, mm,
They'll go along to get along.
mm.
As soon as they get a freedom, they're gone.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And this is why you have to have that honest conversation. It's why you have to have that honest conversation as to what it is that that you want,
mm,
and then listen to the potential of what they want
mm, mm,
as
mm,
well. Because if
mm,
it's not coinciding with you, it seems useless. You be building a home with well, this is your inheritance. This is what you could have.
mm,
Meanwhile, they're not really interested.
mm, mm,
And if
mm,
anything, if they're of that age, you should say, you know something, I would like to go and live in Africa.
mm,
But
mm,
obviously you're not ready. So you can buy the land and we can
mm,
build
mm,
something together.
yeah, when you are, yeah.
So therefore they've invested in it,
Mm, mm,
right?
mm,
With the
mm,
intentions of the possibility of them actually moving there.
mm,
In preference to saying, boy, I built this and well, you know, when I gone it's yours.
mm, having that conversation up front.
Yeah, yeah. Because even now, I know there's a lot of children who are saying, I'm not going to go and live in Jamaica.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right?
And some of them
We're, we're,
don't
we're
even
going,
visit
huh?
when they can. Some of them don't even visit. Holidays is not going to be Jamaica. Holidays may be Europe and or Africa,
Yeah.
and or Dubai.
Hmm. Right? So in that way there, say that their intentions are not coming, not to go to the
Mm,
Caribbean anyhow,
mm, mm,
right?
mm.
So, you know, it's only for certain people.
Yes, but it's like you say, having those conversations.
Hmm.
Definitely having those conversations. So I also like the question that you posed in terms of Marcus Garvey. Pose that question again for me, please.
Well, if Marcus Garvey was here,
Yeah,
what conversation you're going to be having?
yeah.
Well, let's open the conversation.
I think we should. I think we should just to see where it lands.
Hmm, hmm,
Because I know that, or my humble opinion,
hmm,
my question is, would he have had any limiting beliefs? Bearing in mind, we know what he achieved at the end.
hmm,
He didn't obviously start out that way,
hmm.
but did he have any limiting beliefs that slowed him down?
The only thing that I would identify with that, I would say the only limiting thing that was holding him down was the people to believe in him.
Mm, mm,
Although there were many a follower,
mm,
but there was not many a leader
mm,
amongst them.
mm,
Yeah?
mm,
They liked to be led,
mm,
but they never stepped up to take the
mm,
mantle of, well, you know what? If you gone, the momentum will continue.
mm, mm,
Yeah.
mm.
Basically, they cut the head of the snake by
Morning, morning.
they cut the head of the snake, and then once they cut the head of the snake, the body was just wriggling.
Mm, mm,
Yeah.
mm,
And it wasn't, and I think that it was a kind of a mis misconstrued interpretation of he wanted it always his way,
mm,
in the sense of that his vision was a direction of what things could be taken into.
mm,
But there was many who had their interpretation of what they wanted to do,
mm,
and then immediately the corruption got involved into that. Because
mm,
imagine now if Marcus actually took it upon himself to just see to his own fortune,
mm,
huh?
mm,
He would be a multi-millionaire, billionaire,
mm,
right? And yet the people never really took that into account.
mm,
They still wanted to say, boy, he robbed people of this and robbed people of that and
mm,
mashed down this. The man had factories. The man
mm,
had businesses,
mm,
right? He was a skilled orator. He was a
mm,
skilled what's it? Man of the press
mm,
on all
mm,
levels,
mm, mm,
right? It's not like he come with nothing and he just take everything.
mm, mm,
You see?
mm.
So I think the answer to your question would be, my sister, is that if there's any limiting beliefs, it's the beliefs in the people that was around him.
And
Yeah.
and and therein, my if I'm thinking,
Mm,
is that the challenge that a number of our leaders in the past have had?
mm-hmm.
It's the people around them, so they have the vision, and we don't necessarily only have to leave it at our leaders of the past.
Mm,
We have leaders in our community now, and do we appreciate, see, and wish to continue on seeing that vision
mm,
to build? And I'm thinking about the reparations
mm,
and the vision behind that. Um, for me, it's in other literature and other books, Think and Grow Rich, I'm thinking,
mm,
they talk about a mastermind alliance. Do we or can we create within our community that mastermind alliance
mm,
so we do have that legacy that continues above and beyond? So it's not just about the person who is standing up front today.
mm,
There is enough of a legacy, and I know that Marcus Garvey provided us with a roadmap that if we had continued or followed that through,
mm.
things may and can still be different. But again, from a do we have the limiting beliefs behind that said roadmap? Do we actually believe it
I
even when
personally
things
feel yes. I personally feel yes. Right, going by personal experience.
mm,
Organizations that are don't even have to go to any organization. Services that we require
mm,
right across the board. Care from when you're born to when you are put down into the grave. At some stage or another, you need some support,
mm,
right? No matter
mm,
who you are, you
mm,
need some kind of support,
mm,
information to be shared and
mm,
gained to ease your way through any form of life.
mm,
Unfortunately, we are of a very selfish,
mm,
extremely selfish in
mm,
nature,
mm,
right? What you're saying
mm,
about the mastermind, you would have to be you would have to be around those, and yourself as well would have to be extremely um and I say extremely righteous in your
mm,
way.
mm,
And when I say righteous, I mean living in a right and justness of all
mm,
things.
mm,
Yeah. The way how the system is set, as I see it, and as I'm only speaking from my perspective,
mm,
we require a very high standard of um, of ethical living
mm,
and actions from those who are the leaders in our community.
mm,
Right?
mm,
That is what we require, and
mm,
what we ask for is equally as high.
mm,
Right? But unfortunately, that does not reflect those who are our leaders.
mm,
Yeah.
mm, mm,
When we've seen time and time again the habitual behavior of some of these people who say, oh, they put themselves up as leader,
mm,
right? But I'm saying that there's always something there that is saying that they're not willing to address it.
mm,
Yeah. So
mm,
therefore, the vetting of these leaders is not done properly before before we allow them to be into certain positions.
mm,
Yeah.
mm. So
And
who would do the vetting?
that would be a committee, right? Because it couldn't just be the one person.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm,
You see. So like for instance, it's like a person who's going through, what would I call it now? Someone who's going to a spiritual service, for instance.
mm,
They
mm,
can't just wake up one day and say, "Boy, I speak to God," although some people do.
mm, mm,
Right?
mm,
And then they're gonna appoint you as what, priest or saint or something like this. Yeah.
mm, mm,
They go through a whole series of, why do you think? How's this? What is it that's different from you than to other people? Da, 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 da,
mm,
da, whatever, whatever.
mm,
Right?
mm,
And it's usually just their actions over a period of time that shows their authenticity.
mm,
Yeah.
mm,
Right. And testimonies from others that
mm,
build that.
mm.
Right. So it's not a case of oh, he's that person looks like a good person. Let's take him on.
Mm,
Oh, he knows how to speak nicely or good. Let's put him
mm,
up front.
mm,
Yeah.
mm,
It should never be that. Should
mm,
never be that.
mm,
Yeah.
mm.
But you know what? That's how society and some of our communities are.
What
The one who shouts the loudest.
mm,
Go on, go ahead.
what I'd like to put for your consideration and our listeners'
Hmm.
consideration, are we willing to look at things in a different way?
Clarify a bit, please.
So the what we've done in the past,
Hmm.
whether or not we have lifted up our leaders or not,
Hmm.
are we prepared to think in a different way and look at things in a different way? And
Hmm.
where we see that our leaders are making sense and they're joining the dots, listen to
Hmm.
what they're saying and get involved. If you see what they're doing is making sense, and you do your own research and you do your own due diligence and you fill your gut and recognize that there are certain things that just sounds right or feels right, reach out and get involved.
Hmm.
And in getting involved, you may be able to um, you may be or become one of the mastermind group, or you may be someone in there who is, yeah, I'm also championing you. I'm also championing the cause.
Hmm.
I'm not going to sit on the sideline and be invisible. I'm going to stand up and say, yeah, I do agree with what you're saying and how you're flexing. Can we have a conversation just so
Hmm.
you can help me to understand the bits where, because human nature says, I've got a question. I, I'm not happy with, but we never go to the source and find out the answers to that question.
Hmm.
We talk amongst ourselves, and then in the end, we either talk ourselves out of it or we just talk ourselves out of it.
Hmm.
And we either do it silently
Hmm.
and back away, or we do it loud and we pick holes and we make that be the main focus of when there were so many other things that that person was saying
Hmm.
made sense. But our inner child does the, well, if we can't join all the dots, and when we think about Marcus Garvey, he didn't join all the dots straight away.
Hmm.
that was a work in progress.
It was hard work.
Yeah.
Hard work.
And by the time we got to the end of it, if we're looking at the blueprint now, it's an amazing piece of work,
Mm,
but it was hard work.
mm-hmm,
And to be fair, there's nothing wrong with hard work
mm-mm,
because the rewards are there for all um, to embrace.
mm. I mean, I was reading some classics yesterday. Frederick Douglass, the autobiography,
Mm,
and it's it stated from like where he began, what was his intentions of like um or his journey into education,
mm,
and then and like where he ended up.
mm,
In my The reason why I was reading it is because I was thinking, how was it possible for a man to be in the same presence of the prime minister or the
mm,
president
mm,
of America,
mm,
and if he was there even today, an equivalent who was there today, he would be a confidant,
mm,
somebody who he would say, okay, let me just close the doors and just have some close friends around me. I just want to run this idea across you.
mm,
What do
mm,
you think?
mm, mm,
You understand?
mm,
Be a confidant.
mm. It'd be
So
part of the mastermind.
yeah, so it was for me. It was a curiosity of how this person could come up in a system that was so adamant against
Mm,
slavery. Oh, I mean, sorry, against freedom of the slaves, right? And then thrive in the environment of where the controversy of the slave and the slave master was there.
mm,
And a lot of us didn't. I don't feel that a lot of us realize, without going into his history and reading his autobiography,
mm,
that he was a slave himself,
mm,
right?
mm,
At some stage he was a slave himself,
mm,
right? So
mm,
how could a person who comes all the way from that
mm,
level of existence go right to the top
mm,
and be respected by the person who's actually trying to negotiate and navigate a way of communality,
mm,
right? Although instinctively, right, he was still siding with what he knew,
mm,
and he wasn't a city person like Lincoln wasn't a city person,
mm, mm,
right? He was a countryman,
mm,
so he didn't know the ways of the city people. Then, so when
mm,
he come and talk, when he start talk and tell them about this and that, they're just looking at me and say, "Who's this country boy? I tell we what we do."
mm,
They have no respect,
mm,
and that's when Douglas come in and say, "Yo, you don't talk to them like that. You must say this and say that."
mm, mm,
You understand? The way how you're
mm,
saying it, they're not going to accept that. You must say it like this and that.
mm, mm,
You understand? That's how Douglas had them.
mm,
I remember it wasn't
mm,
only Douglas, it was the rest it was about two other presidents that
mm,
he was giving advice to in the same manner.
mm, mm,
Right? So it was just a curiosity of what type of man is this now? Who could get the ear of the president in
mm,
them way there?
mm,
Right? And
mm,
then obviously to do the switch on it of how could we be in that position of authoritative speaking so that
mm,
we can actually be influential,
mm,
because they might not have us in their presence, but I'm going to tell you now, they watch us on the YouTube,
mm,
right? And they're watching you as well, Sandra. So mind your passport when you come back. Right? Because when they check it and they go, yeah, they're not going to be too quick to stamp it. I can tell you that now. Because you're associated with Galaxy. The man there from Galaxy. No, but it's one of these things that I feel that we need to enhance this techniques of effective communication,
Mm,
right?
mm,
Mainly because we are speaking of subjects that most of us would like to bring. We've got a lot of listeners. We do have a lot of listeners,
mm,
right? Or even though they don't come and speak to us directly,
mm,
but at the same time, we would like to be able to cover everybody's answers and questions, right? And even if there's questions that we're not covering as well, this is when we ask you to text us your request, right? So
mm,
even through the limited experience of what I know about Marcus and a few of the other authors out there, I ask you to come and ask your question. Right? And we have it in the spirit in the chair right now, Marcus Messiah Garvey.
mm,
Okay, so
mm,
that's what we're doing. And you can do that.
mm,
You can text us on 079 Right? Let me give it up one more time. 079 If you're outside of the UK, anywhere in the world, you put +44 and then 79 Okay? Go on with it. Go on with it in that way.
mm. Yeah, I would definitely encourage our listeners just to think about what kind of questions would you ask?
Mm. Yes,
Where,
mm. They always put this scenario of if you wanted to have a meal with somebody,
mm.
right, who would it be? Somebody who eat all the chicken breasts. Yeah, see, yeah.
Just because
But,
you mentioned education,
mm.
and just seeing whether or not we can have that conversation with um,
Oh, the sister.
the the sister
Mm-hmm.
founder of Miriam's. I was going to say Miriam's house, but it's not
Yeah.
Miriam's house. Um, and she's going to join us shortly.
Oh, today?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
yeah.
Hello, hello, hello. Hello. What? How to get the twang? How to get the twang in tune in it?
You have to get the twang in tune. Yeah, Miriam's Haven.
Haven.
So
Okay.
she's looking to join us. So I've sent her the link. I've shared the link with her.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. But she's not on the island at the time, is she?
No, she's just literally left the island, so she's reacclimatizing herself to the UK, but
Oh,
also recognizing
it's in the
that
UK.
there's lots that she needs to put into place to continue the vision, and
Mm,
that's what we were talking about in terms of Marcus Garvey
mm,
and Frederick Douglass having that vision. So
mm,
everything about us as individuals
mm,
um, is either an overt or a covert advantage.
mm,
So the question I'd ask our listeners
mm,
and ask you is, do we actually recognize the um, things that are about us that are effectively an advantage, that
Mm-hmm.
we can shout loud and shout proud,
Mm-hmm.
and the ones that are covert, do we actually recognize them as a advantage?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because I think sometimes as individuals, no, let me rephrase it. I know as individuals,
Mm-hmm.
we will live small,
Mm-hmm.
and those who live large and do a lot from a service point of view, we don't know that they're doing what they're doing. So we sometimes disregard their what they're doing within the community and for the community because we don't hear their voices. It's not always those who shout the loudest are those who are doing the work. More often than not, it's those who are quiet and silent who are actually doing the work.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. I know. There's many a humble brother and sister out here
Mm,
doing the works,
mm,
extremely humble.
mm,
Right? So,
mm,
right. Yesterday I took mom to the opticians, and
mm,
the receptionist there, she was relating to me her experience with her parents as they
mm,
were through the Alzheimer's as well.
mm,
So she could see and say that that she sympathized with me
mm,
because she went through for I think it was 5 years. You know, she
mm,
got I had my brother and sister to help me,
mm,
so we all work together and do this.
mm,
And then she said, "Oh," she goes, your brother and sister must be helping you." And I said, "No, because it's just me." And then she just looked and she goes, "You one by yourself?"
mm,
And I said, "Yeah, yeah." And she goes, "Wow, wow."
mm,
It would break me because I was tired when I was doing it. I
mm.
goes, I got no time to be tired. I got no time to be tired.
Mm,
But
mm,
it's a case of that. And as she was speaking, and we very quickly got to that thing of that if you're doing it out of love
mm,
and respect for your parents, then you would go that extra mile.
mm,
And
mm, mm, mm,
as it is not such is not a burden.
mm,
And whereas a lot of people would look on it and say it's something that I would find extremely difficult to do,
mm,
right?
mm,
Uh,
mm,
commitment possibly,
mm,
possibly again could be that they just feel inadequate. And
mm,
I did say this to her that that obviously the support that we get, and I'm speaking also to the Galaxy family when I
mm,
speak about this, and about the caring. The support that we get is absolutely atrocious
mm,
over here, right?
mm,
I'm not measuring it against anybody else or anywhere else, but
mm,
it's absolutely atrocious over here.
mm,
And the thing is that it's a case of like how they would treat their animals and pets.
mm,
Once the usefulness of it is gone, then that's it.
mm,
They're not interested that much now.
mm, mm,
And the only reason why I feel that they are interested in anyone who's elderly is because they can make money out of it,
mm,
right?
mm,
So, like with the copious amounts of like medication,
mm,
yeah.
mm,
If
mm,
everybody stopped taking their medication, all of a sudden that pharmaceutical industry would be down to about 10%.
mm,
Right? Because I'm sure it's all the senior people who's taking all of these medications,
mm,
you know.
mm, mm.
So and then obviously, as we know, it's an expenditure anyway. Huh?
It is. And you, just in terms of what you said, if you're able to approach it from a space of love, and to be fair, I can imagine and appreciate that sometimes there's going to be angst, but there's going to be an element of breathing through it and recalibrating yourself so that you are able to come at it from a space of love, which gives you an opportunity to not take on the pressure, because it's not easy, but love makes it possible. And I would say that needs to be reflected in a lot of what we do in general, that thought process, that love makes a lot of the things that are challenging probable and possible.
Absolutely, 100. Anyhow, let's have a little break, a little 5-minute break,
Okay.
and we'll be right back just after this little interlude here by one of our maestros of our time. Oh, that. Eh? That's it. That's the next presenter in the house.
Okay.
Where is it now? I've lost what I had. Oh, I'm looking on the wrong player. Go for it.
This is what it is. Really and truly, I offered you my blessings, so blind you could not see. You made your moves, you get checklists, so my conscience is set free. I hope one day you would realize that you could be living in paradise. Now that your back is against the wall, trouble take your picnic short of fit you well. Now you can come on it. Look like you're in trouble. Oh, what a lovely way. Long time we have wanted you. Tell me if you're in a trouble, let me call the lawyer. You too volley. Want see me, but you send a message with me, party. Lordy, yeah, now, hey. I wish you love and prosperity. That's something you will need all the time. How did you get there? What did you do? Did Mr. Cup of Eyes love you? In this time, if you think you will slide, and bad things could happen anytime. You got to know what you're doing. Run from trouble, beg you leave that behind. Now you can come coming. Look like you're in a trouble. Oh, what a lot of way. Long time we have found you. Tell me if you're in a trouble, let me call the line. You're too volley. Want see me, but you send the message with me, party. Calling out the children of Africa. Never let mama fall on her knees. Take our hand, lead her to freedom. We must unite the violence to cease. We must fight for equality. equality. Stand up for justice, take to the streets. The motherland is weeping. Yes, it's time for us to trample the peace.
I know sure how they know but I'm more than one. A million dead from my nation. Yes, poverty, they said it is the perfect plan. We destroy the mother of creation. Religious division, a serious weapon, and too much denomination. Discrimination, confusion, destruction, total devastation.
Calling out the children of Africa. Never let mama fall on her knees. Take her hand, lead her to freedom. You must unite for violence to cease. We must fight for equality. Stand up for justice, take to the streets. The motherland is weeping. Yes, it's time for us to trample.
We're back again. We're back again. Yes, my sister, my sister. Was they able to get through to the other sister?
Yep, she's joining us, aiming to join us in shortly.
Okay, then that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good.
It's interesting because I'm not sure whether or not I've picked up on it in the UK, even though I know that it happens, it being back to school time.
Mm.
And
They have
lots of
there this weekend, isn't it?
yeah, well, yeah, this is the last weekend, and then next week some schools will start on the 3rd, the 4th, or the following week, which may be the first Monday in September.
Mhm.
So there's lots of angst. So in terms of here in Jamaica, I was having a conversation with somebody, and he said, I asked him, my previous conversation with him was, have you got everything for your daughter sorted? He says he's got the uniform, he's got the shoes, he's got the book bag, but he's not been given the book list.
Mm.
And then when I saw him yesterday, I just checked in. I said, have you got the book list? Do you know what book she needs?
Mm.
And he goes, he's still not received it, no message on his phone, etc., etc. And bearing in mind, next week is going to be school week. Next week, Friday is the 1st of the month. So it's either that Friday they're going to start back school, or probably the 4th, the first Monday in September, which is, days rather than weeks. So if you've not got the book list already, it means once you get it, all of next week, or it's going to be chasing around. So you and every other child in that class are going to be chasing around for these elusive books.
Mm-hmm.
So those children that have got the list early will already have got their books that they can put into their book bag.
Surely it must be a repeat of the year before. Would it not be?
Well, she's she's moved up a class, so it's going to be a different set of books.
Okay.
So in the UK, children don't have to worry about it. All they have to worry about, parents need to worry about, is uniform, which in itself is a worry, depending on whether or not you need to get something specialized with the school logo, bag, tag, whatever, or whether or not you can get it from your local supermarket. And a lot more things are being opened up. But in the UK, that's the only thing parents need to worry about. Over here, they need to worry about the uniform, as well as the shoes, as well as the bag, as well as the kit to go in the bag in terms of the books. And some children, parents won't be able to manage the books.
Everything.
They'll only be able to get some of it. And some, I know last year when I was here at this time, and I was in the bookshop, and people were going into the bookstore, the one bookstore, asking, do you have this book? And they're looking at the list and they're saying, well, we don't have it. Maybe you need to go to here. You need to go to there. Are you sure that's the right book? So there's a lot of pressure on the parents to find the appropriate books. So I'll have that conversation with him today. And if he's not got it, I'm going to suggest that he's going to potentially have to go up to the school or contact the school direct, rather than wait until when they send him something, bearing in mind the wait is going to provide additional anxiety and stress at the latter dates. But it's just, what do we do with the education? In the UK, we take a lot of things for granted. As
Very-
stressful as it is, we do take a lot for granted.
The thing is that even though yes, some of the schools are challenging, are finding it challenging to get stock
Mm,
and exercise books and things like this, but
mm.
still at least they have access to.
Yeah,
If,
they
if
can
it's
go to a central repository, and the child, in theory, doesn't have to worry about it at a certain age. Obviously, the older you get, the more you may want to get access to your own book, or B, get additional books on top of what you know you're going to be studying this year, just to top up the information and the learning. So that means if you're able to do that in the UK, you've got the support from your parents and or guardians and or after school, you've got that support. But in Jamaica, it's a case of either the community coming together,
wow,
because they're talking about here at the moment, because the teachers union have got their annual conference. They do it a week before the school actually starts, and part of their discussions are around the number of teachers that have left, but aside from that, the teachers that are qualified to teach the STEM subjects, let's use those words, they're few and far between, or they're not as plentiful as they need for all
yeah,
the schools up and down the country. So they're having to make contingencies around those who are coming out of the educational, the learning side of the educational system and going into the schools, and thinking about contingencies in the schools themselves, in terms of the knowledge and the skill base that they currently have access to. So it's a challenge, and there are things which, and they're still having those conversations about wages.
yes. I was just about to say that have they settled and got their back pay yet?
So some teachers have, but there's still conversations that I'm hearing on the radio and or on the television, talking about or referring to teachers who are still unhappy. And within that conference, that seems to be the proverbial elephant in that proverbial room, that even though they've sorted it out, there are still pockets of teachers who still have not got their pay, and it's whether, or if they've got their pay, it's not according to what allegedly they signed up to, in terms of this new transformation and the new pay scales based on
I can see a repeat of last year.
yeah,
I can see.
regularizing. So yeah, I can see that the community and or the parents, where they can, will be required to step up more in order to educate and provide that education, provide the reading material, the books, sit down and read with their child. And therein lies another challenge or another problem in terms of parents who have the knowledge and skills that are able to do so, but also the challenge where, and that's across the globe, parents who do not have the time, so they're time poor because of the circumstance and how they are living, whether or not it's a chosen to live or need to live or have to live, how they're living, they just don't have that opportunity. So in the UK, I know that they would encourage the reading to your children, if at the very least going to bed, but taking that time out to read to your children. But in Jamaica, I don't know whether or not there is. I've not heard of the
I
same
would have thought.
push.
I would have thought that the discerning parent would. Yeah, I would have thought they would.
So the question is, how many discerning parents are out there? Are there? So I recognize that yes, a discerning parent would, but there are a lot of gaps that Miriam's Haven in Portland is looking to fill. But that's not the only gap. I saw something on the internet that was on the WhatsApp that was shared in relation to another school in another part of Jamaica whereby they're also looking for help and support in terms of interested in primary school work.
Mm.
So one of the schools, Hummingbirds Charity, it's a case of contacting them because they need help and support in that primary education. And if we don't get the primary education right,
Well, as in teachers,
they're
or
talking about teachers here. Support is in terms of teachers and or resources.
Mhm.
So the Hummingbird have collaborated with collect with collect Collecto to provide resources to schools.
Okay, okay. So that is like another organization that my assumption is collects items
Collecto,
around the
um,
island.
get new charity to help set up. So they're developing the communities in the Caribbean they're doing it through sport.
Mhm.
So the aim is to achieve and support us in many ways. But the challenge that they have is that um, they simply don't have enough. So it's helped to set up to develop communities in the Caribbean, third world, developing countries, and sport was identified as the primary method the charity will use to develop these communities. So
Okay.
they're using sport in order to develop the
Uh,
community.
Even if they are using the medium of sport, right? So
Mm.
what would it be like? Football matcher or cricket matcher
So the
and
details on here,
domino or what?
um, on here, because I looked at it before and I couldn't see the full details, but what I appear to have now, um, they they are asking for things like furniture, um, and they would accept furniture. They will also accept books. So even though they're talking about sport, they're not limited to and or by the sport.
Mhm.
They're looking at other aspects
Like
of
a
the
Christmas
education
card. What
system.
about because you know how young people grow quick, you know? So what about uniforms and things like this?
Well,
Because
they're not talking about uniform. They're talking about the um,
okay.
they're looking at the um, things that will help and support from an education point of view, an education system.
Yeah.
So whiteboards, fridges, um, yeah.
Mhm. Okay.
So I will forward this to you, but the main thing is, or what I'm um, encouraged by what Sherry and Miriam's Haven's aiming to do is look at the support to give to children after school.
Hmm.
So it's not just a leave them with the teachers and allow the teachers to do the babysitting during the day, and then in the evening the children are left to their own devices, but they didn't actually understand the question, or they wanted help and support with someone who can sit down with them. And as beautiful as the teachers are, the teachers in of themselves are a limited resource.
Yeah.
And anywhere, any country, if you just leave it to the teachers, the child can strive, but they are challenged in doing so.
Mm.
And it's always the parent who gives a little bit more, allows their children to do the after school activities, encourages them in whatever way, reads to them at night, reads to them during the day. It's in that space whereby the children will thrive, or the child's got a natural propensity, drive themselves, and they want to read the book, so they will use what may have been an adversity in their favor because they can read. They just go to the library and suck it all up. I
Mm.
want to read. I want to, and they go through the books.
That is the thing that we need to enhance with that, because as much as we, right, what I find they're going to, like how we are now, like, no, sorry, how I am in preference to
Mm,
you, right? How I am, I'm
mm,
always thinking in terms of practicality.
mm,
At times I forget that life has moved on and
mm,
now it's online,
mm,
right?
mm,
This is the thing. This is the thing that I'm looking to see. They tried over the period of the COVID to do the online teaching, right?
mm,
Now, why are they not offering that service still now, right? For higher education, um, those who would actually utilize the service and find it necessary to utilize the service. Why are they not doing that? Or are they doing that? For instance, we just had the youngs with their what we've got over here, the O
oh,
level.
results picked out.
Yeah, they came out this morning, right?
Okay.
I haven't heard the ambulance running up and down yet, where the parents are killing the pitney them where I do at school. I haven't heard any of that yet. Um, I think a lot of them are still in shock that they passed because it's very quiet out here.
Mm, mm,
But
mm,
as per usual, there are those exceptional young people.
mm,
What we did, we had one of the brothers called in earlier on, telling us that his grandson, the brother Desmond, his grandson. Let me get this right. I think it was 7 A levels at grade A, and then one at B, and one at
mm,
C. Yeah, I think he spelt his name wrong or something like that on the C. I don't know what
mm,
it.
mm.
But he got everything else right. Uh, so what? Yeah. So but I'm just hearing results like that. Was it last strong? There was one young woman and she said that she got 6 A stars on her A levels a few weeks ago on her A
Mm,
levels. And then yeah, so she said, "Oh, I can now go to the university of my choice."
mm,
I'm thinking, with 6 A stars back in my day, they'll snatch your hand off.
mm, mm, mm.
I don't even think they had A stars, did they?
No, well, they've because you said O levels. I'm sure you said O levels.
Yeah,
The
yeah, yeah. O
ECT.
levels were today, and last
Yeah.
week when I heard I think it's 2 weeks ago actually, that I heard
Mhm.
somebody's news of A levels, and they got
So
six A stars.
we should have, and we still have time, and it can be done for next strong.
Uh,
Just for our listeners, just to ring up and just to celebrate their young people,
absolutely,
and just to let's
absolutely,
applaud their hard work and
mm,
their achievement, because whatever they've achieved, no one can take it away from them, and
absolutely.
it becomes a foundation for them to do bigger, better,
Hmm. Hmm.
brighter things.
Yeah, you know that this is only the first. This is only the first stop.
Yeah, yeah,
The
yeah,
first run, the first run of the ladder,
yeah,
and then you rise up since then. After that,
yeah.
man, you run
We,
up,
we, we,
rise up
we,
after.
we need to celebrate and talk about their achievements. And for those who didn't achieve, we still need to celebrate the fact that they sat down
Yeah,
and they gave it a
good God.
go. I'm not going to say the word try because try don't exist in my language.
Mm, mm,
They sat down and they gave it a go.
mm, mm.
So the sisters aiming to get on, and I'm just wondering whether or not the link. is working. Oh, she's there.
Is she? I
I
don't
think
see
she's
her.
there.
I don't see her.
I don't have access to it. It says I can add her, but I can't add her.
No, if you give her the link
I
that I
gave her the
sent
link.
you.
I gave her the
Oh,
link.
you can add her, can you?
I can add her. How do
Oh,
I
well,
do
add
that?
her then. Add her.
How do I do that?
Just put if you hover over the picture where she is or the video that she is,
So I
and
can't
then you
see
can,
him.
and then you can plus. No,
I can't see her.
I don't see her on my one.
You don't see her.
Have you sent her the same link?
I sent her the same link. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to ask you to send me a new link. I
Okay
will
then.
share that with her,
Send you
and
another.
then you can, yeah, then you can do the adding.
Okay then. Dun, 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 dun. I got that tune in my head now. Why you put it in there? You put it in there. You said a trigger word and it got me going.
Well, I'm going to come out, and we will join you in just two shakes.
Okay, dokie. Okay,
Yeah,
dokie.
speaking a bit.
That was it. Okay. All right then. That's our sister Sandra there. We're bringing somebody else in so that we can talk about this. I would say starting school in Jamaica. And remember also that we have one that we sponsoring through the fathers group as well, Black Fathers Support Group, right? And we're having an event soon as well. If I'll get the details up, I can give you some information on that. Oop, I've heard somebody pop in on there. Hold on just a second. I shall come back to you in a momento. And here we are. Right. On the 23rd of September at St. Andrew's Community Center from 5 to 11. That's a long one, right? Saturday the 23rd, St. Andrew's Community Center, Brockley Road, um, ele- London SE4 2SA 5 to 11. Food, raffle, entertainments, and live music. And the tickets are only £15, right? And you know that we do that for the fundraising for the school in the in the Gambia, Bojan Tamper School, right? So if you want to, and I know that you all want to be supportive of our children there over in the Gambia, right? And remember, we've been doing this for how long now? Ooh, 11th year. I think we're in our 11th cycle of doing this for our children over there in the Gambia. So can you imagine a whole year of children? Probably about 70, like between 50 and 70 children each year graduating from the junior school to go into the senior schools, right? So they go up to the age of 11, yeah. And once they get to that age there, then it's on university. But imagine they wouldn't have been able to access the university grades of education if they never started with a foundation. Right? So I just should I just leave it there? Should I just leave it there? I think so. I think I should just leave it there, right? Because our 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 sister Sandra is back with us. Right, any sign of her?
Yeah, she's just pressing enter. So in theory, you should be able to see her.
No, no, I can't see it. I can't see her here. I can't see her on my dashboard.
You can't see her on your dashboard.
No, no, no.
She's using the second link. She's pressed enter.
Oh, here we are. Here we are. Here she is.
Okay.
Is
Beautiful.
she dressed and ready?
Sorry?
Is she dressed and ready?
Yes.
or she
She's really
or she
ready.
or is she going incognito?
I don't know.
Right, right.
Greetings, Shireen.
Shireen?
Hi.
Shireen,
Greetings.
are you that?
Hello. Yes.
I thought I'd give you a Jamaican colloquial entrance there.
Oh,
Greetings,
that's
my
good.
name is
That's good.
Aston.
Hi.
Hi. Hi. And we have our sister Sandra as well, who you are familiar with as well.
Definitely.
All right.
Definitely.
All right. I'm gonna allow Sister Sandra to lead the conversation, and then I shall interject later on with a whole heap of question for you. Okay. So let Sandra lead off the way. Off you go, my dear.
So this is the Blacknificent radio show. And thank you for joining us this afternoon, Sister Shireen. Um,
Mhm.
Now I know that I we've been involved in a project that you're working with others to get off the ground, and I've been
Yes,
waxing lyrical about that project. So just give us a little taster of the project. And I recognize from a timing point of view, we are finishing on the hour, so we can't go too deep. But let's give our viewers a little taster, and then we can set up to have another conversation at a time convenient for yourself, because I recognize you've only just landed back and getting into the rhythm of UK life, having
definitely.
been here over the in the August Messiah month and doing great things for the children in Moortown Primary School.
Okay, so hi. As you have been introduced, my name is Shireen. So a little bit about myself. I was born in Jamaica. I grew up there till I was about 10, and I have lots of friends, family, and connections in Jamaica. So we are from the Moortown district, the Maroon town of Moortown, and um, so a few years back, I brought my daughter Dominique to Jamaica because I had. So when I was on maternity leave with my daughter Demetria, and so Dominic attended the school. And so she was about 10 or so. And she was saying, "Oh, mom, there's nothing to do at the end of the day. There's nothing to do." Anyway, we go back and forth to and from Jamaica. And she was saying, you know what, it would be really nice if there was something for the children to do at the end of the day and in the holidays. And we was like, yeah, that's a good thing. So what I did is originally when I go to Jamaica, I used to do like a party for the children. So I'd set up when we do all the English games, I'd bring English sweets and stuff. Now we want to make it a little bit bigger, whereas definitely in the holidays, summer holidays, Easter holidays, the children have something to do. So my grandmother, Miriam, who's passed, has a house, and all her children don't need a house because they've all got their own. So we've asked, can we have this house and refurbish it, fix it up, and turn it into somewhere the children can go? So my daughter was really excited about that, and she's saying yes, it would be nice to be a real nice safe haven for the children. And we wanted the concept to be that we give the children a fishing rod rather than the fish. So the idea is we want to put things in place where they can learn to be self-sufficient and learn to be positive adults. So if we start teaching positivity in the children, then they will be positive adults and spread the vibes, the love, the message. And so yes, we want to build a youth center which is cultural, which is religious, which is positive, which is something that the children will take pride in. And we obviously would like the adults to take some pride in it too and help out. So that's where we're at the moment. We're trying to, one, get this house fixed up and for the children to go. And we're on the road to registering as a charity.
Thank you. So there was a lot there. So let me just help unpack it for those who were, because
Yeah.
that was a fire hose. You just hit us with a fire hose and a whole lot of information. But just in terms of the experience of your daughter in the school, in the education system, so she was happy with what was happening during the schooling hours. It's just that she
Yes.
felt there was
Yes.
something missing
At
afterwards,
the
the
end.
support at the end. And I think the challenge that I see, and I don't know whether or not you see in terms of um, your visits to to Jamaica, we see a lot of young people just idle
Yes.
on
Yes.
the road. They're liming, they're doing nothing. You speak to them and there's a spark, but there's no flame in
Yeah,
what
and when
you
I went to talk to some of the youths, so I would say to them, listen, if we could put this together, would you help? And would you help in order to get the younger, so the older children, the youths, would you help to help with the younger ones? And they were willing because there is nothing for them to do.
mm. And in there being nothing for them to do, we recognize for some of the older ones, we can't catch them because they're out of our grasp and they are influenced by what young people are influenced by, whether they be in the UK or in Jamaica or the Caribbean. But it's the younger ones that you're looking to catch and provide them. And I love the phrase that you used, and it's one that we abide by in terms of it's teaching, you're giving the children the fishing rod so that they can then be self-sufficient, that they can start to think for themselves, they can use the knowledge and the skills which they gain through the education system and or the experiences around them in order to become beautiful human beings,
Hmm.
um, whether it be in the community or outside of the community, supporting their family, supporting, giving something back. So I do love that phrase, giving them the fishing rod rather than just the fish, because the fish, hey, tastes nice and it does taste nice. Whether or not you eat it with bami or you're eating it with breadfruit, it tastes nice. It don't last.
No, no. So we want something that's like, I mean, the children are our future. And, I look at Jamaica and I think, what kind of future do we want? And, they say you have to be the change you want to see in the world. So for me, the change that I want to see is the children growing up positive, the children knowing their culture. Because a lot of these children, we're from a maroon community. And a lot of them, you say to them, what does a maroon mean to you? They do not know. What did
Mm,
Nanny do? Who is Nanny? A lot of them don't know. And it's about
mm,
going back to basics a bit and just teaching them these things, but giving them a place to go to learn that, even if it's just a matter of them going and doing their homework, um, to them actually cooking some maroon food, to them, playing games that's stimulating the mind. It's about stepping out of the comfort zone a little bit and giving them what we have, what we've not had.
mm. And again, I like well, you speak about the children not understanding or recognizing Nanny and their history. To be fair, I'm going to give them some slack in relation to that because I know from the reading that I've done in the past, from Jamaican heroes, it's only something that they've effectively started talking about and teaching in the schools. So I know most schools now you see the Jamaican heroes on the wall, painted as murals on the wall. But that's a recent
Yeah.
phenomena. That's
Hmm.
a
Hmm.
that's 15 years. But I know when I was coming to Jamaica back in the day, 1977, it wasn't a mural on any wall. And I can imagine when you went to school back in the day, they would have spoken about them but not joined all the dots. If
No,
they spoke
no.
about them at all.
Like we learned about fairy tales and English stories and about we did learn about Anansi, so that was our culture.
Mm,
Um, but it would be nice to, yes, keep Anansi in it because we grew up on it, but
mm.
you know more about Nanny.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's provide fill that gap from an
Hmm.
education point of view, whether it be our heroes, national heroes, Nanny being one of them. We were speaking about Brother Aston and I were speaking earlier on in terms of Marcus Garvey and Marcus Messiah Garvey. If you had a question, what would you ask him? Bearing in mind he left a blueprint that with for Jamaicans but other black people across the diaspora that they can use in order to uplift and take themselves out of the mental slavery that they may or may not be consciously conscious that they're in. So coming back to the school and recognizing we've only got 15 minutes left, and there's a lot of discussions, and I know that you've gone back to the UK now in order to start putting the systems in place in order
Yes.
to make this happen. So it's not just a dream, like or otherwise. It is something we're in September, the day after, in the next 7 or 8 days, and you want to set something up so that come September and the children go back to school, they have somewhere that they can go, even if the systems, as in you've set up the charity, even if that hasn't been done, you're not waiting for that to be done to make use of the space. You spoke about your grandmother's house. You waiting for that to take place, or you're going to set up the charity first and then what's
No, so what's happened is my uncle just is still on the same property, but my uncle's built a shed, and it's a culture shed. And so what's supposed to happen in there is the arts and craft, the music. He'll have drums, and I'd love those children to know how to play the kamonti and a beng, and he wants to teach them that and teach them chess. So that section is going to run from September, and we are just looking at how it would do, but we're definitely doing that. And also we're putting in place after school clubs for the children so that they can come and do their homework. And also because we're looking at the mind, body and soul of it, we have Lego therapy. So we have Legos for the children to just come and relax after a long day. If they haven't got that homework, they can still come and make a something decorative and express themselves with some Lego. So from September, we're starting that. So while we're waiting for the house to be fixed and money to be raised to do all of that, we're putting little bits in place because it's tiny steps that we're hoping to make, bigger things to come.
So thank you for that. And again, I keep saying the word love. I love the fact that you said you're taking those tiny steps. Standing still isn't an option. And that's what I
No.
get from your drive and your passion. Your option is, let me just take one step. Other things will fall into place, and some things you don't even know what the answer is yet. But you're not.
Definitely, because okay, this weekend we still need to raise the money to start the charity, and obviously over the summer we got really generous donations from people like yourself, and we did a fun day for the children. We put on a week's program, and now we're still trying to fundraise. So this weekend on the 26th in Falcon Road, Providence House, where we're doing a fun day to still raise money.
So say that again. If you're doing a fun day, talk about the fun day. What's the timing? Give us a postcode just in case anyone wants to drop in and then help
Is it
support.
free? Is it free though? Is it free?
It's free to enter. There's big things that will be free, but bits and pieces you'll pay for. So there's going to be a football coach, a sports coach. He's going to come and show the children how to do sports and play some games with them. We're going to be selling jerk chicken and Jamaican food. It's a bit, as I said, it's about your mind, body, and soul. So hopefully there'll be sensory play and games, Lego therapy. People around doing. They'll be selling raffles. There's a young artist that donated a painting to us because she wanted us to be able to make money, and she's anonymous, Dejanay, and she's really good, and she's given us that paint. So we're raffling it for £2, and I was kind of hoping that if people want to buy the raffle, they can contact me and they can win that on Saturday. So there'll be lots going on. It's Providence House on Falcon Road.
What's the postcode? And what time is it?
It's from 12 till 6.
Okay.
It's from 12. Yeah.
What area is Falcon Road in?
Battersea.
Oh, Battersea. Okay. So it's a local to us here in the studio as well, So can reach out to that still. That Saturday. Saturday, this what time? From 12 to 6? Hello?
Have we lost you?
No, don't say that.
No.
Where you gone? Where you gone?
Sorry, 138 Falcon Road, Southwest 112LW.
Okay, 138.
Yeah,
You were
Okay.
looking at the postcode. But
Mm,
I'm glad that you came on, that you were able to give us, like I said, a taster.
mm.
This is just like
yeah.
a little bit of the bigger picture, and
Mm.
this is a beautiful picture.
We're gonna we're gonna ask
Beautiful what you're
we're
doing.
gonna ask for you to return, right?
Yeah,
Because
Hmm.
we would like some further details. I was just speaking with the manageress here, one of the managers in within the studio.
Hmm.
So we would like some further details as well, you know,
That would be
right?
great.
So that we
Uh-huh.
can see if we can do an ongoing support with you.
That would be great. That would be great because I mean,
Yeah,
it takes a village to raise a child. So we all, if we all go in there and put our support in, then yeah, better adults.
send a suitcase or crate down or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
That'd be beautiful. We got loads of plans for Christmas, and I am gonna be begging people just if you can donate one present for an adult, like an older generation or a child, because
Mm,
we're trying to do again in Jamaica. We want to do a fun day,
mm.
just on Boxing Day, and also we want to do a Christmas dinner for the elder generation that doesn't have a lot, because we want at some point for those elder generation to be teaching those youngsters
But
bits and pieces of what they do.
that's the natural movement, not the true.
There you go.
Yeah, man.
Pass it down, you know?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. That's it. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, I look forward to corresponding with you in the near future. Right?
Thank you.
Let's put a time on this. I would say the second week of because you'll be doing your event this strong, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Give your son say 2 weeks time. Would
Yeah,
that be
that sounds good. Yeah,
okay? Then
yeah,
let's do that. We plan to do a link up again in 2 weeks time and
that's
come,
going to be around the
come
7th
into
of September,
What day is that?
the Thursday, the 7th of September.
all right then. All right then.
Okay. And the
Just
Saturday, that Saturday, I've got an event as well.
as well.
Falcon Festival. Yeah,
Okay.
Falcon Festival. We're moving it. We're moving it. We're moving it. We're doing our thing.
Get yourself out there. Get yourself out there and let the
There
community.
you go.
See,
There
man?
you go.
All right then.
Yeah.
Okay then.
So
All right.
thank you.
Thank you
No,
so
thank
much for
you.
joining us. I know we're coming to the top of the hour. Well done, my sister Sandra. Right? We just need some visualization on this now. Get some
Yes, yes.
get some
We'll
photos
organise the
photos
pictures
and
and then we'll do
videos.
it next time round.
Introduce us to the young children and the staff and everything. And then, we can just move this thing forward. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
Make
Okay.
things tangible. Yeah.
Hmm.
Well done. Well done, my dear. Well done.
Thank
Right.
you very much, Shireen, for joining us. I know
Thank you.
we
Thank
were
you for having me.
communicating earlier on, but yes, thank you. We will see you again on the 7th. We'll talk about
Definitely.
the timings and the details. But just quickly before you shoot off, just tell us again what's happening this Saturday.
Yes.
Location, postcode.
Um, okay, so it is at Falcon Road. So it's 138 Falcon Road, and it's at Providence House Youth Club. So Providence House Youth Club, and it's right next to Clapham Junction train station. So accessibility, fantastic. So we're doing a health and well-being fun day. So you come down and as I said, you got the um, games you could play with the children, arts and craft, somebody to talk to. We're trying to cover all aspects of mental health and play and positivity. So it is 138 Falcon Road, and it's at Providence House Youth Club, and it's Southwest 11. I think it's 2LW.
And it's from what time?
From 12 till 6.
Thank you very much for that.
Okay. Thank
Thank you.
you.
So yes, so I can't be there, but anyone in the area,
Mm,
any of the Galaxy family, And what I'd encourage you to do is, I know you've written it down and you've taken a note. Tell your friends. It being a bank holiday and coming up to the bank holiday, and sometimes we're looking for things to do. Let's look for something positive to do that will feed our mind as well as our soul and our spirit. And that sounds like a good space to be in. And there's lots for the children, lots for the adults, and conversations to be had. So thank you very much, Shireen, for joining us on that. So I'm just going to say my last few words. And today, a lot of what our conversation has been around is, are we willing to look at the things in a different way? Are we willing to everything, recognizing that things about us are either overt or covert? So what advantages are we taking of the things that are in our power? And we spoke about, from an education point of view, Frederick Douglass, Brother Aston was sharing his analysis of where Frederick Douglass is and what he managed to achieve. And we spoke about Marcus Garvey, and we finished up our conversation speaking to Shireen, who will be joining us again, but she's just given us an indication of the support and what she's setting up in relation to and for the children in Moortown. And she's aiming to set up a place called Miriam's Haven. And yeah, taking little steps. So even though it's not finished, it's not the finished article, they are still taking time out to say, you know what, with what we've got and the knowledge and the skills that we've got on the ground, we're going to start this. We're going to get this ball rolling, and we're going to give the children a fishing rod rather than the fish. We're not feeding them and then leaving them to their own devices. We're giving them knowledge and skills that they can help, so they can become beautiful, supportive human beings. So thank you very much, Shireen. Over to you, Aston.
All right, then. Thank you so much. Thank you, Shireen and Sister Sandra. And we are reaching the top of the hour now for our program here on the Blacknificent Show and the Mind Soul Connection segment. And we look forward for you to come back with us again. And remember, there are many events this weekend. We got Campaign for Truth and Justice, haven't we? Is that?
On Saturday.
Saturday.
Yes,
Saturday. So after you've gone to Falcon Road, you can come down there, so down to Peckham Ride Park, innit? Jamming for truth, for justice in Peckham Ride Park. I've got it right here in front of me, and we are running from 8 to 9. So you can spend a piece at each place there, so right?
From 1 to 9.
Huh? I know.
You said 8.
I said 1 to 9.
You didn't. You said from 8 till 9. Get it? Give them the right information.
I'm gonna. This woman, you see. Anyhow, anyway.
From one.
From 1 to 9. Okay. But remember, I'm also inviting them to another event as well. You see.
Okay.
All right. So we're gonna be rolling around town.
Mm-hmm.
All right then. Enough candy floss are gone. All right then. Right, you take care now, right, until our next program, which will be sometime in the near future. Will you be joining us on the morning, on the risings?
Yeah, I'm aiming to.
You're aiming to. Would you like to join us as well, Sister Shane?
Definitely.
From 7? From 7 a.m. From 7 a.m. I will forward the link to you, to our Sister Sandra. And if you're up for it, please, you're more than welcome to come and join us and chat with us as well in the morning. Okay.
Okay.
All right then. All right, and bring the rest of your staff as well.
Definitely.
Was it your daughter? Your daughter said
Yes.
that? Yeah. Bring your daughter as well. Tell her, say you're coming on radio with me.
Oh Lord. Okay.
All right then. You take care now. And
Thank you.
Family, at the top
Thank
of the
you. Bye.
we shall be changing over to our sister Anawa, right? And she'll be coming with what are you doing? Balance and order?
Every time.
Every time. You're looking smooth today. What's going on?
And Sheen.
What you done?
And Sheen.
Cocoa butter? Or
I'm
something?
waiting to say, rise up, sisters.
Uh,
More strength to
Rise
you.
up, rise up.
see? Think about your shy. Go ahead.
Sheen and Shine.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Sheen and Shine.
Go along with yourself. Go along with yourself. Yeah. Let me see. Let me see what I do. What did I do? What did I do?
What did you done?
I don't know what I done, you know. Oh, you come back. You come back. Yeah. See, I know they're local lad. I don't know what you think of it. What do you think of this
Imagine a
young man?
world where love is king
This one done the karaoke. Yeah.
and every nation stands in unity. Where every girl is equally free.
Anyhow, take care, family.
The
Take care.
band of soldiers only fight for peace. Forget your troubles, wash your worries away. All we gotta do is plan love. What you see it grow into a better day. Ain't nobody gonna cry tonight. Everywhere